anyhow, we want to thank all of you for joining us today. Thanks for being with us. Andrew and I were saying, let's talk about inflammation a little bit, and how inflammation impacts us probably every day. Some people more than others.
Right. Well, the reason that I was interested in talking about that is, there's all this research going on out there about what they call long haulers after they've had COVID. And from what I'm seeing, it just appears that it's inflammation in the body left over. It's causing
inflammation that's triggering the long haulers.
All kinds of different symptoms. Like, it just probably depends on your own body chemistry and stuff, but seems to be affecting people in different ways.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Sam, you have an opinion on that as far as like chronic inflammation triggering the long hauler symptoms?
There's a lot of lung damage. There's a lot of lung damage.
A lot of lung damage, he says.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more than that, because they're having brain fog really bad. They're having like chronic fatigue. Yeah. Different parts of the body are affected. So anyway, inflammation is a good topic to cover, because we know that contributes to a lot of disruption in the body.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at how to set this so we have the speaker view. I don't know how it's recording it right now. It doesn't say. Anyhow, well, yeah, we've talked about inflammation before, and I think one of the main things that we see here in the United States is the fact that our omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is way messed up. And you and I have talked about that in the past, that if you take a look at the average here in the United States, it's somewhere between, depending on what report you read, it's somewhere between 16 to 1 to 25 to 1.
And it's supposed to be 1 to 1.
Well, ideally 1 to 1, and that's omega-6 to omega-3's ratio. But they're saying that if we can just get it down to 4 to 1, the closer to 4 to 1 ratio, it's that much better. That's
good news. And that's something we do have control over.
Yeah, that's something we have control over, and you can control that with your diet. A lot of people, they say, well, how do you control that? Well, it's what you eat. It's what you eat. And with this, big vegan movement and all this stuff, most plant-based oils or fats are typically more of your omega-6s is what the studies are showing us. I'm driving. I'm in the car. I'm down here in Florida for everybody that kind of wondering what I'm doing. So I'm trying to move my cell phone so that's yeah. So you have to consume the fish oils in order to get a lot of your good omega-3s. Flaxseed, of course, has omega-3 in it, but a lot of your plant-based are omega-6s, and the problem with a lot of the meat that we eat, that we consume, it's back they say when they research animals 100 years ago, animals would go out and they'd eat a lot of like the grass and that sorts of things, and they would the animal would have a good ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s, and you'd eat the animal, and then you'd have the good ratio. Well, now the animals are fed diets of a lot of corn-based, and it makes the animal faster, and it creates a lot of marbling in the beef and the steaks and the roasts and things like that. And they say, well, people like it because it tastes better that way. problem with it is now you have more of your omega-6s, and that's what most people are consuming.
Uh-huh.
So people have a chronic low-grade inflammation all the time.
I think that's just about everybody.
Yep. So 2 years ago when I had my blood work done, that was one of the things that they looked at, and they said, hey, Kurt, your omega-6 ratio, the omega-3 ratio was messed up. And so they told me that I needed to eat more seafood.
Okay.
And so I changed my diet, and I try to eat seafood at least twice a week.
Is there another way to get it?
You can get it from nutritional products from supplements,
That's it, huh?
and then
I don't do
plants,
seafood.
and then
Mhm.
plants. I mean, but you got to look and you got to make sure that you get the right plant oil. Like avocado oil's got some omega. You've got omega-3s in it. But yeah, your arachidonic acid is omega-6, and when you have too much of the arachidonic acid, it creates what they call an arachidonic cascade, and it causes more inflammation, like this cytokine storm. It can trigger a cytokine storm, which we've heard a lot about in the last year, of course, because of COVID.
Right. Well, there's those other things that they talk about, inflammation causing or contributing to heart attacks, things like that. That information came out about, what, 12 years ago?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've known that for longer than that, but yeah, they
Have they?
inflammation, it's a major component. I remember 20 years ago, I went to a seminar that was called The Brain on Fire.
Okay. Yeah, I've
Brain
heard of
on
that.
Fire. And they were talking about how, a lot of your neurodegenerative diseases were actually triggered by inflammation of the brain, and that was because of the
Mhm.
the omega-6 ratio being messed up. They talked about it way back then, 20 years ago. But there's other things we can do for inflammation too. It's not just the omega-3s. Fucoidan. You're very familiar with fucoidan, right?
I love fucoidan.
Yeah.
And it
I mean,
works
there's
really well. It takes care of your inflammation really well. Like I noticed it almost immediately, like just having, like gut inflammation from not eating right or something, you drink it and it takes care of it. It's just gone.
Yeah, and for those of you that are new to hearing about fucoidan, new to our call here, the Doctor's Clinic call, we talk about product that comes from Sizzle, SISEL, is how you spell Sizzle, and we have a product that's called fucoidan, FUCOYDON, and fucoidan comes from brown seaweed. And so if you look up on PubMed, you can look up fucoidan, the generic name. We call it fucoidan the way we spell it, but the generic spelling is FUCOIDON, and fucoidan. And you can look it up. There's over 2,000 studies on this extract from brown seaweed, and it talks about how it works with supporting healthy kidney function. And the kidney, of course, is involved with a lot of inflammatory processes. So the brown seaweed extract from brown seaweed or what's the other name for fucoidan?
I wandered over there one day and it had a research article about it supporting the gut biome, like making the environment more healthy for the good bacteria.
Yeah. And so it comes from brown seaweed, and and we get our seaweed from the South Pacific, which is really important because if you get brown seaweed from up by Japan, then of course you've got the radiation from the nuclear reactor fallout that they had, and so a lot of people said, oh, they didn't want to take food poisoning because of that. But if you understand, like the jet streams, there's also kind of a jet stream in the ocean, and it flows north along that border, and so all of the nuclear waste traveled north toward China versus south, and so we get our poison by the metric ton from the Tonga region, which is in the South Pacific.
Right. Well, then the other great thing
And
we
Tom
have
has
for,
100 patents on. Tom has 100 patents on how to extract it in a way that he can highly sulfonate the fucoidan molecules, because some of the molecules, the UF and G molecules, don't come out highly sulfonated, and so he figured out how to get them so they're all sulfonated, all three forms, versus most of the other Lima Mui and fucoidan companies, they don't know how to do that, and Tom put a patent on it.
right. So fucoidan's one option.
What's that?
I said fucoidan's one option then.
Yeah, supercoin is good. Your omegas are good. I mean, even just vitamin C is a good, natural inflammatory too, right?
Well, we have that other product too, the H2 sticks, which creates hydrogen water. So you have free diatomic hydrogen plus free oxygen going into your body. And I've had personal results of that, getting rid of inflammation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think just, keeping your antioxidant levels up is going to help, eating dark green fruits and vegetables. And our Spectrum X product is made with 74 trace minerals and 40 antioxidants. So Spectrum X is really good that way too. Curcumin, we use curcumin in a lot of our products
Mm-hmm.
for that same reason.
So just to list off everything that we've already talked about: the omega product, Super Omega, fucoidan, H2 sticks, and Supermax.
Super Detox would be another one. I mean, if you haven't done a good detox, Super Detox is a great one. It cleans out, the system, cleans out the mucoidal plaque and all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. You just take that for a few days, and it cleans out your intestines.
It gets out that mucoidal plaque, that baked on stuff, gunk in your.
I think you told me it melts it away.
Melts it away. Yeah. Hey, we're on our way to the Everglades.
Oh, are you going to go on the airboat?
We are.
Where are you going?
In a swamp buggy.
I know, but what part of
We're
Florida are
going
you in?
Everglades. So we're going to be down to Okeechobee.
Okeechobee?
Yeah, that place.
Okay. Well, I did that. I was in, oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it. We went on Jungle Jim's airboat ride.
Jungle Jim. My friend Mike was just telling me about Jungle Jim's last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one that we went on, that we're going on, Wooten's swamp tours, they had I suppose, because of COVID and because it's that time of the year or whatever, when it's kind of switching from the old tourist to the young tourist. So they're having a BOGO sale, buy one, get one free. So
Nice. Great. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your day. Don't fall overboard.
yeah. So, I mean, anything else that you want to say about inflammation? I think that, the big thing that we want, the thing that we want to get across to people is that inflammation is very important. You want to control it because it is a major component of all these other diseases. It makes you more prone to being sick, and so if you can control the inflammation, you're going to stay healthier. You're going to have less chance of coming down with an illness. You're going to have less chance of having complications if you do get sick. And so it's really important. And so I take Fucoitin every day. I use my Super Mega every day. I try and eat, like I said, I've changed my diet. I eat red meat. I try and eat red meat 2 or 3 days a week, and then I try and eat seafood 2 or 3 days a week, and then I have a plant-based fat meal where I don't eat any meat 1 day a week, so that I can kind of have that balance. It's all about that balance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Great.
anyhow, I know we're going to quit a little early today with the call, so I'll hand it over to you, Andrea, and if you want to close off the call for everyone.
You bet. Well, thanks, Doc. And I'm glad you and Sam are having some time together down there. I hope you enjoy it. And for those who have just tuned in today, this isn't our normal call. Doc's just on the move, and I'm taking care of my mother who just got out of rehab. So we're not quite set up the way we usually are. You can go into Doctor's Clinic, Doc Phys with Friends on Facebook, and scroll back and watch many, like 3 years worth of videos in there. So find a topic that you're interested in and watch it, and join us again next Tuesday at noon Eastern time. Have a great day. Bye, Doc.
All right. Bye-bye. Have fun.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Yep.